What's up out there, guys, and welcome to the Journey to a Million podcast. Today is October 14th, 2021. We finally have some good news to talk about here. Crypto markets are starting to recover a little bit. We still aren't back to our initial investment, but in our imaginary betting account, we did have an awesome week last week, going 6-0. Plus 300. And so let's take a look. All right, so we had Texas and Oklahoma. That game, we took the over 63.5, and it was 55-48. Oklahoma won on a walk-off, almost touchdown with like 3 seconds left. That was 55-48. Oklahoma won. So that was an awesome way to start the day on Saturday. And then we also had the Rams -2.5 against the Seahawks on Thursday. I forgot that was before Saturday. And they also won 26-17 or something like that, I think. So that one won 55 or $50 as well. And then we also had the Falcons Jets, the London game, over 45.5. This one was definitely a little lucky because it didn't look like the over was going to hit, but the Jets came back and scored a couple touchdowns. And the Falcons were up 27-17 with just a couple minutes left. The Jets drove down the field and they had to kick a field goal just to, have a chance to get the onside kick. And that's we were lucky because they hit that long 49-yard field goal to hit the over. And sometimes you need some luck. So we got 50 on that one too. And then this one was probably the luckiest one, was the Packers -2.5 at the Bengals. As you saw, Mason Crosby, I think, missed 3 field goals in a row and then finally hit the 4th or something like that in overtime for the Packers to win 25-22. So, a lot of things are going right. Also, if you guys remember, I was talking about the Alabama versus A&M game, and I would have probably picked Alabama, but I was going to the A&M game, so I didn't want to root against A&M. I didn't want to have that pick out there, and luckily I didn't take it because A&M won outright. So that game was incredible to be at, and that was my first A&M game to ever go to. So incredible atmosphere there. Never forget it. And also, I will say I had some other ones. I kind of like Georgia -14 or 15.5 against Auburn on the road. That one covered. And then Ole Miss playing, who did they play? Arkansas, the over, but it was something crazy like 70 or something. And then they scored it was 52-51. Ole Miss won. They scored 103 points. So I did look again this week, and it was Ole Miss and Tennessee. The total's 82. I try to stay away from those just because it's like so much has to go right in that game, and if they have one bad quarter, it's it can be over. So so anyway, I did have a couple. I'm glad we didn't take the Bama one for sure. So that one worked out. And also we had a couple more games on the NFL 7-point teasers. We seem to be doing pretty well with those. We had the Patriots. We moved them from -9 to -2 against the Texans, and they won 25-22. So that was lucky too. Nice 3-point win, barely covered. And then the Colts and the Ravens, again, a lot of things went right for us this week. Ravens were -6.5, and we moved it to +0.5 point. So they could have tied, but they won in overtime after being down 22-3, came back, tied it up 25-25, I think, and then won 31-25 in overtime. And then lastly, the Giants and Cowboys, we had a teaser with the Cowboys to bring them from -7 down to a pick. That was an easy win. It was something to 13, either 30-something to 40-something. So easy win for the Cowboys. And then we also had the Panthers. They were -3, so we put them in that teaser to bring them to +4. And I didn't think we had won this one, but I remember the Panthers, were +4, and they lost 21-18, so that one won as well. All these were to win $50, so 6-0 times 50 is $300. So that brings our total for the year to -205, which is not great, but it's a lot better than -505. So this is a big week for us to swing it back the other way. And if we can have 2 good weeks in a row here, we could get back to even. So looking at our crypto account, crypto is starting to finally go back up. Interestingly, with our account, we have all altcoins, which it would have been nice to have some Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin's gone up about 20-25% in the past month. And, I thought Cardano was going to be the altcoin blue chipper for us. but just because we bought in at kind of a high point relative to the past month and a half or 2 months, that, you know, Cardano is down to 219 now. So we're at 153.30 off our initial investment there. And then we also have one Solana at 151.52. And then we also have 200 Mana at 77 cents. And then 260 XRP at $1.13. So luckily XRP has rebounded a little bit. It was down, I think, to 94 last week. Cardano is even down from last week. Solana barely down. And then Stormex, we have 5,000 at 0.032, which is 160 bucks. So we have 153.30 worth of Cardano now, 151.52 of Solana, 154 of Mana or Decentraland, and then XRP 293.80, then finally 160 with Stormex. Add all that up, you get to 912.62. So we're almost back up to even. And the interesting thing is, if you notice that Bitcoin has gone up about 25% in the last month, we're now starting to see that 10% spike on Ethereum, Chainlink, some of the other altcoins. And I think because those two are kind of the first movers when it comes to altcoins, we should see a kind of ripple effect across all the other altcoins as well. So hopefully by next week, we'll be back to even on both accounts. We'll see how that goes. So real quick, just looking at the week 7 picks, we're going to start off tonight on Thursday Night Football with the Bucks and Eagles. So we're going to take the Bucks in a 7-point teaser, move them from -7 down to -1 or pick. So they just need to win the game. And then we're also going to put them with the Rams. Rams are -9.5 at the Giants. You know, this should be an easy W for the Rams. They're just need to win by a field goal on this one. So if we're going to do 65 to win 50 on that. And then also we're going to take one college game. I like just doing one college game because and we definitely didn't have that A&M overhit a few weeks ago when we put 180 on it. But hopefully we're going to see if they can do it this week. They're playing at Mizzou and the total 60. So we're going to do 59.5. I think this game, I've seen Mizzou play and A&M's offense looked like they figured some stuff out last week, and Mizzou's defense is really bad, but they have a decent offense. So I think A&M, coming off such a big win, I definitely expect a little bit of a letdown. And they played really good defense the whole game, but Bama just has really good execution on offense. But I think Mizzou will be able to put up 20 to 30 on them. And I think this would be like a 34-24. Well, we need higher than that, I guess. Hopefully it gets 34-27 is what we're looking for, something like that. So we're going to do over 59.5, 60 to win 50, buy it down to 59.5. All right, then 3 other teasers. The Cardinals are +3 at the Browns. I think even though the only thing that concerns me with this game is the Browns rushing attack, I should probably just take the over in this one, but I already put it. So let's do the Cardinals +10. They haven't lost a game yet. I don't think you can stop Kyler Murray when it comes down to it. And I do think the Cardinals could be due for a loss. Plus the Browns will be motivated from last week, but the Browns defenses look kind of suspect and the Cardinals D looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do is put the Cardinals from +3 to +10 in that teaser and see if they can keep it close against the Browns, which they should. They've dominated everyone almost this year. So then Panthers also are at home and they're playing the Vikings. And I think this game sounds like a really close game. I don't see the Vikings beating anyone by more than a touchdown. Panthers are +1 and we're going to move them out to +8. I do think they had a really bad game last week, but I think they'll respond and at least keep it close. So I think the +8, I feel pretty good about that. That's 65 to win 50 also. Then we're also going to do like an over teaser. So I kind of thought about it last week and I was like, man, it seems like every week just take the Washington football team over and it's a pretty safe bet. So who are they playing this week? The Chiefs. Chiefs have not looked good on defense. I do think there's an element of, hey, let's get it right again. But them being on the road, they kind of tend to go towards the over and high scoring game on the road. And the Washington football team, I think the Chiefs could hit this over by themselves almost. It's 55.5, but we're going to buy it down to 48.5 with the 7-point teaser. And then we're also going to bring the Chargers and the Ravens over 51.5 down to 44.5. Both these teams just look on fire on offense. And, no one's really been able to stop Justin Herbert yet. And I think Lamar Jackson had one of his best games of his life on Monday Night Football. So them being at home, I expect Lamar Jackson to play pretty well. So I think in that game, I feel really good about that going over 44.5. So we're going to risk 65 to win 50 on those two overs in a teaser. And then lastly, this is probably, I'm a little concerned on the Cowboys, but they've just kept looking strong. They're playing at the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. They're -3.5. Let's put them out to +3.5. And then also the Bills at the Titans. The Bills are -5.5. I almost just took the Bills outright. They'll probably end up covering, but I think they're just going to smoke the Titans. Like the Titans pass or offensive line protection has just not been good. And I think the Bills defense is way better than the Titans, defense. And Josh Allen's been crushing it. He's been on fire. They have way more weapons. It's just, I honestly think this is going to be a domination on Monday Night Football by the Bills against the Titans. Hopefully they don't let down too much, because I know last week against the Chiefs, they wanted to really make a statement and prove that they were the top dog in the AFC right now. And it looks like everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid because they're probably number one on all the power rankings now. And that's my only concern, is that they might come into this game thinking they're going to get an easy win. But they also seem like a very well-disciplined team. And I think they have one mission in mind, and that's to go all the way this year. So I'd like to see it. The Bills, they haven't been to a Super Bowl in a while, and the Super Bowls that they did get to, they had some really bad luck, or just lost. But I mean, I think that'd be an excellent story to get the Bills in the Super Bowl. But here I am doing the same thing, but they look like the best team in the AFC right now, except for the Chargers maybe. So we'll see how that goes. Still, Chiefs can definitely figure it out. They've always gotten down to the AFC Championship in the last 3 years. So we'll see how it goes come January. But I do think the Bills this week should, easily beat the Titans. And the Pats, I don't know if they'll be able to beat the Cowboys. If anything, they beat them by a field goal. So I like both of those. All right, so that's it. Risking 55 or 65 to win 50, of course, on all these 7-point teasers that we talked about. We're -205 going into this week, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. If we go 3 or 5-0, we'll be back up in the positive in the black for that account. And then hopefully by next week, crypto and the altcoins, we'll see a nice, if we get a 10% pump by next Thursday, then we'll be looking good. All right, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. That's it for this week. Have a good one.